Ever have one of those nights when you're in a good deep sleep and you suddenly wake up? No alarm's going off in your head. You just wake up. And then the first person you think of is someone who lives in a dangerous world. Good morning, everybody. Have you ever had one of those times when you wake up in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, like me this morning, and you're going, brain, why are you awake? We're supposed to be asleep still, but your brain is wide awake. You can't go back to sleep. And of course, the first thing I thought of was my brother, my big brother, Johnny. Troubled kid, troubled youth, and troubled adulthood. And he's been in prison for 10, 12 years now already, serving a life sentence of over 5,000 years. He never killed anybody. He's considered a career criminal, even though his oldest charge goes back to 1986, and it was theft of a building, burglary. But he was in scrapes with the law here and there, mostly minor stuff. But the last charge he got slapped with was a doozy. And I agreed, he belonged behind bars if he was guilty, which I thought he could be, because I know his history, I know my brother. So I did think what he was being charged with was a possibility. And when I asked him, he got in trouble, 3 charges of indecency with a child. Now, he did not have sex with the child. He didn't. Came close, if you ask me, for them to pursue the charges they did. So, yeah. I got fallen family too. Ain't nobody perfect. But he is my brother, and I didn't abandon him because he went to prison. But I did ask him, why did you think it was okay? He still, to this day, has not admitted to it. But a long time ago, he went after one of my kids inappropriately. That's why I figured this was a possibility. And when I asked him then, he said, well, it was done to me. And I said, did you like it? He said, no. I said, then why the hell are you trying to do it to another child? This thinking of, it was done to me, so it's okay for me to do to somebody else, is wrong. If it was done to you and it was not a good thing, you don't want to ever do it to anybody else. That should be your justification for not doing it. Well, anyway, he's serving his life sentence, and he has no chance of parole except in 2036. I think he'll be in his mid-70s if he's able to get parole. I don't think Lubbock's going to let him out. But it was his first offense like that ever. And I just couldn't abandon him because he did something bad. My mother, she couldn't talk to him because my father, my stepdad, he had his own issues from his own youth and could not have any associations to criminals at all, or he could be thrown back in prison. Now, I can't justify what my brother did, and I'm not even going to try to. Ashamed? Yes. Yes, I am. It's very hard to me to come out and say it. Tell anybody about it. But honestly, I think he got his just desserts. He would have been better off going into a grocery store or a convenience store and trying to rob them instead of doing what he did, what he is accused of. And I couldn't defend him because I knew that he had those tendencies, because I had to protect my own children from him. So, but I didn't give up on him. Because inside, my brother is still a really good, caring, loving person. But now, I'm really worried that he may not be with us anymore. Waking up in the middle of the night like that, for no reason. And the first thing that comes into my mind is my brother. And I went and looked through my messages to see the last time we communicated. And he still had not even responded to my last message back in September. So it's been a month since I've heard from him. Now this happens sometimes when he's in prison because of lockdowns. They lock it down bad enough, he can't talk to anybody, can't communicate or anything. But my brother's older than me by 4 years, so he'll be 64 this next birthday. And I'm afraid he might be gone. I may not be able to have my brother with me every day. But I didn't have my brother with me my whole life, mostly. He was in and out of boys' homes. Our family was split up when we were all young. And he bounced from place to place and foster home to foster home. And I grew up with my mom. And I was an angry, rebellious child. And I had good cause. Still to this day. I look back and I'm like, yeah, well, you had a right to be mad. But if it made me mad, that was grounds for me not to do something. So I do have trouble understanding a lot of people today, why they do the things they do. The biggest excuse I hear, well, it was done to me. Did you like it? Is my first question. Because I know what was done to me, and I didn't like it. Even though my father tried very hard to make me feel very special because of what he was doing, it didn't make me feel special. It made me afraid of men. It made me not trust adults. That's what it did. It didn't make me feel special at all. So if that's what you're trying to do and you're messing with kids, I hope those kids haunt you every day of your life. Just like my brother is haunted by what he did. So, but you ever wake up and no reason for waking up. I was tired. I'd had a full day, long day. I was feeling very tired. My refrigerator went out. Check this out. Yesterday, we discovered my refrigerator is dead. Lights still come on, but it doesn't get anything cold. And now I've got a huge mess in the bottom here. I've cleaned a lot of it out. I still got bloody water to get out. But all of this is dead. Dead as a doornail. Light's still on, but dead as a doornail. I don't know how how I'm going to replace it. I bought that with the money my mother gave me almost 3 years ago. And I'm used to refrigerators that last, you know. And I'm really disappointed this one didn't last very long. And I don't know about you, but to replace this refrigerator, they want $3,000 plus. So no, I'll go on Marketplace and I'll find me some cheap working refrigerator and make do. I'm okay with that. Always have been. That's mostly how I did things anyway. Brand new was never affordable for me. You know, I thought when my husband got to making $50,000, $60,000 a year, life would be easier for us. Until I did the math and saw how much they were taking out of his checks every week. Well, that kind of brought us back down to, you know, the low 20s, maybe even upper teens, depending on how many weeks he didn't get full weeks. So, yeah, it's, I don't know how I'm going to replace that fridge, and that's not what woke me up. It's just something popped in my head because I'm scared. I'm really scared that I have... Hold on. Sorry, everybody. I heard my dog yelp, and I was worried he had gotten down by the road. No, actually, somebody tried to steal him when he was still a pup. But, yeah. We live out in the country, but we don't live far from people. Okay? I mean, if walking distance, my neighbor's actual house is about a half of a mile walk. If I walk down my driveway and up his. If I cut through my yard, it's a quarter mile. But that's my closest neighbor, and I like it that way. Now, my dog is sitting here upset because I won't let him go back outside. He's in the house, and if he goes out, he's wearing his collar. So he hates that word. He understands pretty well when I talk to him. Animals are better able to understand human language than we are able to understand theirs. But anyway, you ever wake up with that gut feeling? I've buried 2 of my sisters. My mother, my mother-in-law, my stepdad, and my biological father. That doesn't include the aunts and uncles I've lost over the last just couple of years, because we're all getting old. So I know it's part of the course. Doesn't make it easier. And even though he's over 1,000 miles away, and I can't hug him when I want to and try to talk common sense into him like I want to, I still love him. And I have 2 siblings left if my brother dies. And I'm not close to one of them. I love him, but we're not close. Different ideals, difference of opinions, different whatevers. So, though I love him, we're not close. The only sister I have left doesn't talk to me because we had a huge fight over bullying. And after having to take care of everything that had to do with the loss of our family members by myself, no help, because my sister needed rescuing. She didn't want to help. She just wanted to be saved. And it is what it is. I can't change that. And when the burden got real is when we started having problems, her and I. And that led to bullying, and that led to an argument. And now we don't talk. And so if I lose my older brother, and I don't talk to my sister, and my little brother doesn't, he doesn't know me. I don't hold anything against him. But he doesn't know me, and I don't know him. We didn't grow up together. So we're not close. Now, I would defend him vigorously if I thought I had to. But that's not because he's my brother. That's because I think of him as a good person. My big brother did bad things. No joke. But he's still a good person inside. And normally he cares very much what people feel. And he doesn't like to see others hurting. That's why I can say that. Look, I have lived in a life where reality was it. There was no room for fantasy in my life, not even as a kid. And I'm glad, I'm thankful for that every day of my life. Now, I'm an artist, I like to draw, I love to paint. Don't do either one much anymore. But the thought of losing another one, it's just a lot to deal with, So I thought I'd come on here, talk to you guys. Maybe if I shared with y'all, it helped me cope better, Now, I come from a complete family of imperfect people. Every way, every shape, every form. And some of them, they did go the criminal path. I must have something in one of my past lives that diligently steered me away from that world. And I'm grateful for it every day, because I'm not having to go through what my brother is going through, because I made different choices than him. And, I was looking through the messages to see when he last communicated with me was, I think, the 22nd of September. And since then, I haven't heard anything. My oldest daughter is now in jail. It has been for about 3 weeks. And she probably will be there a while longer, because nobody can afford to come up with any money to help her bond out. But she faces some serious charges. And she's thinking, to herself, well, it's my first offense, and blah, blah, blah. And my brother Johnny got the sentence he did for his first offense. So if you're thinking that just because you're getting caught once, the consequences are going to be minimal, you might get in front of a judge who decides, you know what, I'm going to make you hate this system so much that when you do get out, you'll never come back. And I'm going to do that by giving you the worst, strongest sentence I can give you. I don't want my brother remembered for his crimes, though. Because he was so much more than that. So much more. He just learned how to survive as a child on the streets with no guidance from anybody. And anybody who tried as he got older had no success. Except me. But, you know, drugs will do things to your brain. And it did to his. So, I don't know if I'll even post this video. This is such a personal topic. It's really hard for me to talk about. I mean, a lot of people come out and they say, yeah, I was raped, I was molested, I was this, I was that. Sharing their stories, hoping others can relate and understand. Maybe that's what I'm doing, I don't know. But I know that my brother is in a dangerous place. He's been there a long time, so he's lucky he's still alive, especially with what his charges were. But he was tortured. The first 5 years of his life in prison was absolute hell. And if the Aryan Brotherhood had not taken on my brother, he'd be dead. But they found him useful. They found his street and prison knowledge useful and helpful. So they took him in. Thank you. Even though I don't believe in superiority, whatever color, thank you for taking care of my brother. Anybody who's watched any of my videos, you know I don't care about your skin color. I don't think one human being is above another. But there are many who do, and they live their lives that way. No, no, you were out in the woods. No, you are not going outside. Sorry. See, my boy is upset because, no, get down, get down, down, get down. Good boy. No, no, you are not going back outside. Look at him. He thinks I'm just being mean. But when I called for him and he came out of the woods, he was close to the road. And on our road, speed limit was 40. Hit a dog at 40 miles an hour. He's dead. I hit a young doe at 25 miles an hour. Jumped right in front of my truck. No way I could avoid hitting it. And it killed it. So 25 miles an hour will kill that young doe. People coming down my road at 40 plus miles an hour is just going to splatter my dog everywhere. So he's upset because I won't let him go back out. And I know I've rambled on long enough. But like I said, sometimes I just got to get it out of my head. Otherwise, it just plays itself over and over again like a broken record. I even have to ask my brain, can't you think of anything else? I've heard this already. I've thought this already. Come up with something new. Or don't talk to me until you do. And it helps get it under control sometimes. But I think I was dreaming. I just don't remember the dream. I think I was dreaming about my brother. So, if you think that people have severed their connection to you, that care about you, because you've done bad things or wrong things. It's not always the case. Some of us decide not to hang on to hate. It's a bad thing. Hate is. Especially when it's misplaced. There are things in life I hate. Child abusers, number one. Number one. Above everything. Because when you hurt and harm a child, mentally, physically, you have hurt their future. Or removed any chance of a good future for them. And if you can't see this, you're just not looking at it. Because you don't like it. Because it means you have to take the consequences of your actions. And my brother has had to take the consequence of his actions. The day of my brother's sentencing, they asked my father if he wanted to say anything, and he spoke up. And he said, "Your Honor, please take pity on my son." I did this to him. No. No. I did this to him. I know this was hard for my father to do. And he told the judge, "Nobody's ever given this kid a break. No one's ever given this kid a hand up. They give him handouts, but never a hand up. And it's my fault." When he was young, I was not a good father. I was young, I was stupid. I mistreated my wife, I mistreated my children. And that's what's brought him before you today. So please, take pity on my son. The judge had no compassion or pity. And they broke one charge down into 3 charges. There's actually only one. But they separated it out through the wording so they could hit him 3 times with the same charge. So if you think they can't charge you twice for the same crime, you're wrong. Double jeopardy is a joke. But he took no compassion for my brother. He could have just gave my brother, a regular life sentence, which in Texas was 25 years. And at his age, he'd be getting out soon, about 5 years from now, maybe longer. But no, he had to go to the extreme, break that charge down to 3 separate charges that were exactly the same charge for exactly the same, and he only did it once, not 3 times. So they falsified documents so that they could give him an excessive, an extreme prison sentence. And he was hoping someday to get out. He got a lawyer. I even helped him try to pay for a lawyer. So if he got out, he could spend his last days here with me, away from kids, away from any of the temptations of drugs, and because there's none here. I mean, you can go into town and find it, I'm sure of it. I've heard that Mountain Home has a pretty heavy problem with meth. I haven't seen it personally, but I hear about it. But my brother is facing his consequences. And he said, "Angel, I just don't want to die in this place." What he told me like 2 years ago, because he had a heart attack. And I asked Johnny, do you think you're stuck there if you die? He said, yes, he did. I said, you're stuck there if you decide to stay. He said, my sentence is 5,000 years. I said, Johnny, are you really going to stay there 5,000 years? That person probably won't even exist in 5,000 years. But you're going to lock your soul there? You're going to lock your spirit there when you're free? Because in death, you are free. I can't explain away the ghosts that stay in places. I can't. They're all different reasons that they do it. But I can tell you, when you die, you leave this world. You leave it. If you're willing to go. In my brother's case, he may not be willing to because he may feel he needs more punishment than what he received. All the times he was raped and beaten for the charges that he was brought in for and survived, those rapes and those beatings. I think his penance has been enough. So I'm hoping that he really does believe me, that when he dies, he's free. He doesn't have to hold on to the shackles of an excessive government that has no reason or rationale. 5,000 years, really? The average person, you're lucky if they live 80 years. Average. But at the same time, I think a life sentence was accurate. But what they did to my brother was unjust. Yeah, he should be in prison for what he did. No argument there. And for about 4 years, I didn't talk to him. Wouldn't have anything to do with him. And my mother called me one day and she said, Angel, please talk to your brother. He called. I could only talk to him for a few minutes. But he is completely alone in this world. And without you, he's completely lost. So I took up writing my brother, communicating with my brother. I did it for my mom, and that's the truth. I didn't do it for him. I was angry. Oh, I was so angry. But now, years later, well over a decade later, I'm very, very glad that I did. He's being punished for his crime. And I don't think I need to punish him more than he's already being punished. And that may be, a crazy way of looking at it for some people. But I haven't seen hate do anything good for anybody. Especially when they're paying for the crime. And paying for it he is, without a doubt. And he'll die there. I just hope he knows he doesn't have to stay there. Once he leaves his body, his soul is free. That doesn't mean he's not going to face his whole life in the afterlife, because I do believe that happens too. At least that was my experience with it. And if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't know that. It also made me more aware and more careful about what I choose to bring into my afterlife. I don't care whether you believe in God or not, it's irrelevant. You exist. So you're going to live and you're going to die. Now, if you believe nothing's happening when you die, it's just over, well, he's still free. Either way, he's still free. Your view or mine. He's still free. And after being a troubled kid and spending so much time in the system, it was kind of one of those things you knew just was going to happen. It was just going to be. Because he could get away from it for a little while. But out of desperation for money, whatever, he turned back to it. And I just hope that he knows he's free if he does go. If he does leave this world, he's finally free. When I leave this world, I'm finally free. Of all of it, just like everybody else. But I don't believe that's the end of us. It's like I don't believe that's the end of my dog either. I don't believe that's the end of the tree out there either. Life and death go hand in hand. Accepting that is not easy. Especially when you turn out to be the last one standing. And I'm afraid in my bloodline, in my family, my direct family, I'm getting close to being the only one left. And that's a harder reality than I ever thought it would be. I'm praying I'm wrong. Nothing happened to my brother. That everything is okay, he's just in lockdown. And my fears and my worries are working on me. I really hope that's the case. I love you guys. I really do. I know you don't know me. And I have never physically met you. Doesn't mean I don't care about you. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I can't fix your problems any more than I can fix my own. Like their fridge. I can't fix it. I got a $3,000 piece of garbage that didn't even last 3 years. Was not worth the money I spent on it. Why did it die? Because the warranty went out. I'm sure that's why it died. Warranty went out 2 months ago. Died now. Well, I paid for the warranty and now I can't. It's useless. I just paid extra money for nothing. And now I got to come up with the money to replace my refrigerator. So if you are feeling generous today, please like, share, comment, the usual. But if you go to my YouTube page, in the description there you can find the links that I had set up for if anybody wanted to help me out. I'm not real good at asking for help. I can do it when it's necessary. I can absolutely do it when it's necessary, but I don't always receive a yes. But there have been a few times I've been delightfully surprised. Thank you, Julie, for your help last time. It meant the world to me. And though I don't see you much anymore or talk to you much anymore, I still think you're a wonderful person. And I'm glad that your family stands up for you and has your back. I love you, girl. Julie Foos, you're one of the sweetest, loving people I've ever met. And your compassion has shown no boundaries. Thank you for sharing some time of your life with me. Okay, guys, I've made this one. It says 40 minutes, but it's broke down into 2 videos because of memory, and my dog still has his head in my lap, hoping I'm going to give in. So I'm going to put his collar on and take him outside and keep an eye on him while I wait for time to pass and my hubby to come home. I'm already tired. I don't know what, my brain was 3 o'clock, really? It couldn't wait just a couple more hours till closer to time when I normally get up. Anyway, so be it. Life, you know, what do they say? C'est la vie. It's kind of the French way of saying whatever, if you ask me. Okay, guys, I love you, and I'm going to keep rattling if I don't shut up. You helped my heart heal a lot. And the comments that I've read from people, I find the majority are good people. There's always somebody who's looking to bully somebody. Nowadays, you just hit a button, they're gone. So they don't have the power they used to. Thank God. I love my country. I love my family. And I love you. Please, don't ever forget that. American Granny out. Hey everybody, thanks for listening this morning. It's greatly appreciated. Taking some of the heavy weight off my heart always seems to help make my thinking clearer. So thank you for being there for me. It's greatly appreciated. Hey, if you would like to help me get and replace my refrigerator, please go to my homepage. In the description on my homepage are the links where people can help me, like fix my refrigerator or fix my whatever comes up that I gotta fix. I have no way other than this channel to get help. So I'm reaching out to those people out there in the world that are still good people, and if they know someone's in need, they have no problem lifting a hand, a heart, a warm word, or in my case, a few dollars. So if you want to go check out my homepage, give it a good quick view over. It's kind of cute. It's got all kinds of stuff on there. Just American Granny. Of course, you can get to it by tapping on my picture. I learned that one. See, it's all new to me. But I got to tell you guys, I really do appreciate everything you let me share with you. And the words of understanding that I'm seeing coming out of the people who comment. You guys are the reassurance that I'm right. This world is not an awful place. Governments and corporations, on the other hand, they need a lot of work. But on a whole, including everybody, not excluding anybody, There's good people in everyone, even the ones who do bad things. So, thanks for letting me share that with you. American Granny out.